right. Hi, my name is Dr. Shell. Thank you so much for coming to Dr. Test Prep. We are going to be doing Unit 2 Algebra, Lesson 4, Graphs of Linear Equations and Functions. So you should have Khan Academy open, and hopefully you have an orange. If you don't have orange on this topic, um, you might not need to do it. If it's purple, you might want to skip it, but it's totally up to you. Make sure that when you click the calculator link in the chat that you go to choose assessment and College Board, and unfortunately we have to do it every single time. All right, if you have my book, which is $14.95 on Amazon, we're on page 26. If you don't have my book, it's totally fine. Get a paper and pencil, take some notes, and make sure you have the Desmos calculator open to follow along. Given the line y equals 2x plus 5, what is the slope of the line? Well, it seems like every student on the planet remembers y equals mx plus b. You might not know what it means, but you might remember it. Y equals mx plus b is y equals 2x plus 5. So m is our slope. So the answer is 2. Let me just show you how to do it in the graphing calculator, just in case you didn't remember the formula. Um, you can absolutely use the keyboard functions on the bottom. I like to just type. So I've got 2x plus 5, and then I have this lovely picture. Now, sometimes kids get confused because of these extra grid lines. So if you zoom in more, eventually it'll look like this. And if you click this little box here, you can turn off the minor grid lines, which makes it so much easier to count. You don't always want the minor grid lines off just because sometimes answers will be like 0.5. But in this case, I'm going to do it just to make it more easier to understand. If you can see my mouse right here, I'm at the y-intercept, which is 5. And remember that the other way you can do slope is rise over run. So you just have to find a place where the graph perfectly crosses. So like here at negative 1, 3. And just to show you, I'm going to write it out, but you don't have to do this part. This is just to show you. So if I look at negative 1, 3 and 0, 5, those are 2 points that are perfectly on the line with no decimal coordinates. So how do I get from negative 1, 3 to 0, 5? Well, I count up to 1, 2, and I count over 1, 1. So the other way you can do it when the graphs are more challenging is to do rise over run. And in this case, it's 2 over 1. And 2 over 1 is just 2. All right, what is the equation of the line represented by this graph? So looking at question number 2, we can see in the graph that there are some key points. 0, 2 is a key point, and 2, 0 is a key point. So you can just match it up, but if you wanted to, you could also type in the key points because it'll make it easier to see if the graph goes through there. So I'm just going to type in each option. Here's option A, y equals 2x plus 1. We could very clearly tell that 1, the slope is going in a completely different direction, and 2, it doesn't go through the points. So then let's try negative 2x plus 1. Notice how I didn't delete it. I just like added and changed what I needed, in this case a negative. We can see here it does go down in a down direction, but it doesn't go through the 2 points that I found from the graph in the equation. So now we've got x plus 2. Well, it goes through one of the points. It goes through the purple point, but it doesn't go through the black point, so that's not the answer. So now I have negative x plus 2, and it does go through all the options. So I do recommend that if you have questions where you have to compare, if you can find a couple points on the graph that they give you, to just type in the coordinates into Desmos, it'll make it a lot easier to see if it actually matches up for you. All right, I am going to click here and put back on my minor grid lines because I like to look at them. All right, the points 1, 3, and 4, 9 line on a line, lie on a line. What is the slope of the line passing through these points? So because it says it lies on a line, I like to use tables when I use Desmos. So you can use the slope formula, which is subtract the y's divided by subtracting the x's. Here I'm going to do 1, 3 and 4, 9. and I have these two dots. Now I can still count up and over, but I like to look at a line. So I'm going to long press this dark purple and click lines. And we're going to do this a whole lot. This for me just makes it easier to count. So remember again, we're doing our rise over run. So I'm counting starting here at 1, 3, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I go up 6 spaces. And then from here, I go 1, 2, 3 over 3 spaces. 6 divided by 3 is 2. That is my slope. Now, I also could have picked another point. Let's see. Well, no, that's the best option, honestly. So 6 over 3 equals 2. All right. Thank you so much for watching this video. In the next video, I'm going to be doing Unit 2, Lesson 4, the harder examples. All right. This is Dr. Shell. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.